Hey everybody, Tim Anderson here, aka Renfell, and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be diving into the new announcement from Amazon about the name of the new Middle Earth show, or the new Lord of the Rings show, which is called Rings of Power. But more importantly, I want to talk about the fact that this new title sequence is not CGI, but it's actual miniatures and handmade. We're going to dive into that this morning. But before we do, if this is your first time here, do me a favor. If you like this video, smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon so you get updates for future content that I produce. Do a lot of different things here on YouTube. You can check out all the playlists below. You can also join our Discord. Links are in the description. And if you want to find out more about what I'm working on with my brother and my wife, we have a project called The Weave in the Void, which is the world map behind me. Find more information about that over at patreon.com/wandering hermits. It's a 5th edition tabletop setting, a point and click adventure game, and a series of books like Dragonlance being published all through our Patreon. So check that out. Let's dive in. So there's an exclusive trailer out over at IGN. We're gonna watch this together. I've gone through this thing probably a dozen times now, and I've just been geeking out since yesterday when I saw this. Because obviously, the show in and of itself is cool. I'm a big fan of all things Middle Earth and all things Tolkien, and I have expectations. I don't want to say I have high expectations, but I do have a certain level. We got confirmation that Howard Shore is doing the score. I mean, and there's a lot of good things around this. I know that there's some hesitation for people because they moved production from New Zealand back to the UK. It is what it is. Tax incentives and all that stuff. But what I just want to focus on today is one of the core aspects of the Lord of the Rings films, as well as going back to like the Star Wars films, was the fact that miniatures and physical props were a huge part of production over CGI. Obviously, CGI was still used in some places, but um, props and miniatures and handmade items were always given precedence. The fact that we're getting a title sequence that is a miniature in and of itself, and it's all done through actual real effects, not through CGI, suggests that perhaps the showrunners are keeping that same level of detail and looking back to the past. Anyway, I could talk more. But let's just watch this video. It's very short. I'm going to shut up while we watch this. That for me is so cool. I'm gonna play that again while we're doing this. I'll talk a little bit. So I love the fact that it's practical effects, right? It's real stuff. They got a high-speed camera and they're shooting this so they can get slow motion takes. But the level of detail, like burnt wood and smoke and fire, and the effect of when the water hits that and the steam rolling across the table, that right there, oh my God! And like the smoke and the water, like all of this is just, I think it goes to show the craftsmanship that goes into creating something like this. And that's something where I do want to talk more about miniatures and the effects industry and what people put into this and everything else. Because if you go back to, um, let's say, I'm going to Google something here real quick. Star Wars, I can't type apparently. Miniature creation Return of the Jedi. As an example, let's see what we can pull up on. Um, and I don't know how to find things here, but I just want to see if I can't find a quick video that shows like some of the detail
In
that went
some ways,
into.
one of the only things that was transferred from
Yeah.
Colin Cantwell's
So this is
concept model of
Lauren Peterson. He was a model
Luke's
maker,
Landspeeder
and
to actually Luke's
there is some
Landspeeder was
amazing, like the
kind
TIE
of a
fighters.
dark military blue
Like they've gone
battleship
in
color,
here, and you
and
can you can
the
watch
good
these
guys were a
videos
little
of
bit
them
lighter
making
value.
the TIE fighters. But one of the
We
coolest
certainly
ones
did
for
on
me,
the TIE
and
fighter
I
a
don't
good
know if I'm going to be able
kit
to find it in
bashing,
this video because I'm
but
just very
there's
quickly
so many
scanning,
shapes. The
was when they were
multi-spoke thing
working
on the wheel,
on
the
Empire
ball
Strikes
that isn't
Back.
totally a ball
We
that
had
goes off into a more of a hexagonal
where's
side.
it at?
On the underside of
Yes,
it with
this
all
is
the
the one. I was talking
a
about
lot of
this on the
different
Looking for
views, and
More
you
show
imagine
yesterday.
it
I'm
in
so
different
glad I
lighting,
found
and
this. So
live with
these
a
guys are
model for
showing
months and
this
think about
ship
it and
that
imagine it
comes
in so
out
many
in
different
Empire
ways. It's
Strikes
almost
Back,
always
right here.
disappointing
This
to
is
see
the
it on screen
sequence,
because in
and
your
that's the ship.
imagination
And they're
it
talking about like
lives
this
in
guy is
360
talking about
degrees from
how
a lot of different views, and you
it was
imagine it in
unfortunate
different
that all of the
lighting. And the
details
most
that they put
enjoyable
into the
thing
model
is
couldn't be
just to
seen on screen because it
become
was only on screen for a
engrossed
few
in
seconds.
creating
They're going to
something
show
rather
a
than
shot
just
here in a minute
piling on
where all
irrelevant
of the
details.
cargo
That model
containers that are
had so
underneath on
much
the belly of this
details,
thing right here,
particularly on
that's
the
the shot.
underside of it with all the containers
And these are these
and
little
things that
things that no one's,
that don't
you're
really
not going to
show up
see
on
that in the film
screen.
because
If they
it
have
goes by so
lots and
quickly.
lots of
But if it
detail that are
wasn't
not
there,
random and not
then
repetitious, that
it
have
wouldn't have
little
had the detail that
pieces
it
that are
had on the
meaningful, or as soon as
screen.
you see something like that and
But
you
this goes
identify
to
it in your
show you
mind, then
like
it
the
gives you a feeling
amount
of scale.
of craftsmanship that goes into miniature making and things of this nature, which is why I have such big hopes for, or at least I don't want to say big hopes because I'm trying to keep my hype level down. I have high hopes, big hopes. I have hopes, aspirations, whatever. I would like to think that they are going to keep the history of Weta Workshops and what they did with the, um, let's see, miniature making Lord of the Rings films. Because Weta did some amazing stuff. Not just the bigatures, the forced perspective, all of this stuff was really cool. But where is like the see, when I'm Googling miniatures, it's bringing all this other stuff up from people who have made miniatures. Uh, Model making Lord of the Rings films. Yeah, I might not be able to find something very quickly. But if you've ever watched the special behind the scenes stuff for, ooh, here's making a Lord of the Rings. There might be stuff here. I'm gonna scan through this really quick. This is probably the first part, which is all of the um, just talking about Tolkien. But they made just okay. Here's a good example, like the set for
Early
Bag
on,
End.
essentially the first set that was ever
And just the
was
level of
Bad
detail.
End.
They built
Peter
multiple sets
actually
here,
thought, hey,
right?
you know what?
They
What we need
built
to do is we
one
need to
for the
go in
real
there
size
and get a
actors,
video
and then one
camera,
for the small
and
actors.
I'm gonna sort of work
And
through
then
kind
they
of
combined the two.
the
This is a
space and just get a
composite
feel
shot
for it.
right here. And the amount of detail, you have to think about that for a minute. The amount of detail that goes into the creation to duplicate the sets and to make them look good when they're in a close up. That's one of the coolest things. Like if you've ever watched the behind the scenes of the Tower of Orthanc and how that was a bigature model, an actual miniature that was built as opposed to a VFX sequence. Um, Making of Isengard, oops, model Lord of the Rings films. Let's see if I can bring this up. Because, and I don't know if there's a good sequence here. Okay, well this is perhaps this might have something here. Okay, yeah, here's a good example. Like here's the ships,
But a fantastic
and
one.
the fact that
Yeah,
they've got all
a
these
powerful
working
interior design
parts.
that they did.
Here's the
I think it's
giant,
really evident in the film. If you look at them,
the
you can
the
see how rich
battering
those
ram
miniatures are
when they're in the
and how realistic
caves.
they are.
Um,
They add something that you wouldn't get
this
any
is
other
when the
way.
boats come in. Like these are all miniature sets. Minus, Minas Morgul. Look at this. Like this is
Minas
stuff that's
Morgul's
so
original
cool to
name
me
was
because
Minas Ithil,
it goes from a
and it was a
concept
Gondorian
to
city
an
and
actual
the sister city
thing
of
that's
Minas
built with your
Tirith before
hands,
falling into
and people
Sauron's
spend
hands.
painstaking
So we
hundreds
wanted
of
it to
hours
evoke
creating these
Minas
miniature
Tirith, but
sets
have a different
that
design
then
sense.
And this
can
prow of
stand up to a
rock
close-up
that
shot
originates in Minas Tirith
Was
with
a
a
design
camera
element
and
that they
actually
decided to
look
carry
good as
over
opposed to doing it
into
in
Minas
CGI.
Morgul.
So yeah, I'm
And
nerding out a little
these
bit here, everybody.
promontories of rock they
Thanks
reproduced
for
in the
thanks for bearing with me this morning. Again, my whole thing is I love the fact that this intro sequence was done with real effects as opposed to CGI, and it does suggest that they are going to be paying attention to that level of detail, and hopefully we're going to be seeing a lot of miniatures and actual models as opposed to CGI in the new show coming from Amazon. It remains to be seen. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Link, drop them down in the comment section below. If you like this video, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, join our Discord, all those things. And of course, if you want to know more, you can always support our channel by going over to the Patreon page for the Weave in the Void, patreon.com/wandering hermits, and you can pick up a subscription for as little as $3 a month. Get access to the book chapters as they are published over there with artwork from my wife, Chris. And you can also pre-order the tabletop book and source books, as well as the point-and-click adventure game we're working on. So hopefully we'll see you over in Patreon or in Discord or here on YouTube for the next video. Stay safe, everybody. Until next time.